If you sleep less than 7 hours, your brain functions at a level comparable to being legally drunk. Reaction time drops. Memory recall weakens. Decision-making slows down. And the most dangerous part is that you don't feel impaired. You feel normal. That's why people keep blaming discipline instead of biology. What it looks like day to day. You sit down to work and reread the same line 3 times. You open a tab and forget why. You delay starting things that should be easy, not because you're lazy, because the part of your brain responsible for focus and self-control is underpowered. The prefrontal cortex is the first thing sleep loss shuts down. When that goes offline, effort feels heavier and thinking gets noisy. So you start overthinking. You plan instead of act. You consume instead of create. You mistake this for procrastination. It's not. It's cognitive fatigue. Your brain is running on backup power, and you're asking it to do complex tasks. Sleep is data processing. Here's the reframe that matters. Sleep is not about feeling rested. Sleep is when your brain processes information. When you sleep properly, metabolic waste is flushed out, memories are consolidated, and neural connections are strengthened. When you don't, yesterday's data stays unprocessed. That's why your mind feels crowded. You're carrying mental leftovers from previous days. What actually happens in the brain? During deep sleep, the brain physically clears toxins that build up during waking hours. It also transfers information from short-term storage into long-term memory. If deep sleep is cut short or fragmented, that transfer doesn't happen cleanly. Learning becomes harder. Recall becomes slower. Emotional reactivity increases. This isn't psychology, it's physiology. Why most sleep advice fails. Most people try to fix sleep by adding things. Supplements, apps, routines. None of that matters if the core variables are misaligned. Sleep is controlled by a small set of biological levers, and once those are set correctly, the system stabilizes on its own. Lever 1. Wake time is the anchor. The most important lever is wake time. Your brain does not anchor to bedtime. It anchors to when you wake up. A consistent wake time trains your circadian rhythm. Inconsistent wake times confuse it. Even after a bad night, waking up at the same time increases sleep pressure the following night. That pressure is what resets the system. Skipping this step keeps people stuck in light, fragmented sleep for years. Lever 2. Light controls hormones. Light is the next lever. Light is not visual, it's hormonal. Morning light shuts off melatonin and activates alertness circuits. Nighttime light delays melatonin and reduces deep sleep. Scrolling in bed doesn't just keep you awake, it shifts your entire sleep cycle later. That shift carries into the next day as brain fog and low cognitive endurance. Lever 3. Input timing shapes memory. Input timing matters more than people think. The brain needs a quiet window to consolidate information. Late-night consumption keeps it in acquisition mode. That blocks memory storage. You can read more and remember less if you don't give the brain time to process. Cutting off new information before sleep is not about discipline. It's about letting the system switch modes. Lever 4. Sleep pressure and association. Sleep pressure is the final piece. The brain needs a clear association between bed and sleep. When you scroll, think, plan, or problem solve in bed, that association weakens. Sleep becomes lighter and harder to initiate. Training the brain to treat bed as a sleep-only environment restores pressure naturally. The minimum system that actually works. If your energy is low, don't try to fix everything. Fix wake time first, then get light in the morning, then reduce mental input at night. That alone is enough to improve sleep quality within days, not months. What changes when sleep stabilizes? When sleep stabilizes, memory improves without effort. Focus returns without forcing. Emotional reactions soften. Task initiation becomes easier. Problems people blame on motivation, anxiety, or discipline often improve simply because the brain is no longer overloaded. Control without force. You don't need perfect sleep. You need predictable sleep. Your brain already knows how to perform. The only thing that's been missing is the space to do its job. So tonight, pay attention. What part of your day is quietly interfering with your sleep without you noticing?